However, Bisu is not able to get into Much's main, as you can see here, because of the narrow ramp. But he can build a huge force of Dragoons, and I mean, that will be one way to counter the carrier threat. I mean, it's like Terran building mass Goliaths, except even more. I mean, we're going to be seeing a lot of gateways here. 10 gateways, maybe even 12, once Bisu has all these extra bases up and running. Meantime, however, he will have to survive the bit that it takes him before he can start getting the Dragoons out. And this is not working out well for Bisu, because all his Dragoons are just sitting there, not doing a lot. As you can see, as I was saying, they're not firing fast enough to take the interceptors down. Much is just able to mass carriers. He's got 5 already out. And he'll be able to produce at least like another 4 before he runs out of minerals. So this is clever here by Bisu. He's using an observer to just take pot shots at the pylons. Carriers being 6 psi each, that's like 3/4 of a pylon. He's going to be able to reduce the carrier production here, stall it quite significantly. And the one thing about this map actually is that you don't have a lot of room in your main. Plenty of space below the ramp, but in your main itself, you don't have a lot of room. And now, because Bisu is able to, he's effectively got Much contained, even though Much is going carriers. They aren't really subject to a contain. Bisu has Much contained, so Much will have to find space for extra pylons and stuff in his main base, and there's not going to be a lot of that. Although he could always put them over there behind the minerals. Anyway, it does look like, because of the large force of Dragoons that Bisu has built up here, and the fact that he's been rallying his Dragoons pretty much straight up to the outside of Much's main base. He's taken out all the pylons! Bisu's taken out all the pylons, wow! As I was saying, because of this, he's now able to, he's got a significant force of Dragoons. It does look like he's managed to take out a few of the intercepts, and the fleet beacon goes down! No further carriers are going to be able to produce for the minute. I don't know whether Much immediately built another fleet beacon. Look at this food count though. I mean, Bisu has over 1,000 minerals and 125 food to Much of 75. I mean, I'm surprised that Much didn't think about this and actually go 2 base carriers rather than 1. I cannot believe he just decided to stick with 1 base. I think Much is now getting a bit desperate. He's desperately focus firing as many Dragoons as he can. He's killed 6, which is not bad. He's going to kill another one here. But the carriers are coming out, and if they get caught by the large mass of Dragoons, Dragoons are actually really quite powerful. I'm not quite too sure whether Bisu's upgraded them at all. Might be a bad idea, because they'll get 2 extra damage per upgrade. That will help them negate the carrier's armour. So, with this amount of firepower that Bisu's going to be able to put out in the form of his mass Dragoons, I really don't see that Much can win this game now. Although he can use his carriers, don't forget, so I'm going to take out some of the expansions of Bisu, because the lurker eggs are going to stop him reaching every expansion easily. I did notice Bisu has managed to put an Arbiter Tribunal, I think. He's starting Arbiter Tech up in the bottom left corner. However, Much is now on his way down there now with the carriers, and this could get taken out before anything happens with it. Arbiter's not being a bad choice here. He's probably going to use them to, well, I mean, they're dual purpose. He can use them to status field the carriers, so that he can do a bit of damage, or he can use them to recall the Dragoons straight into the middle of Much's main base. However, there's no need for that, because he's managed to fight his way out the ramp anyway. Much forced to bring out his probes. This is not that good. I think this is pretty much GG already, despite Much still having a very significant fleet of carriers. Much is sending his carriers over to Bisu's main now in an attempt to get Bisu to retreat, but I don't think it's going to worry. Scouts! He's got scouts! That was actually a 3rd Stargate, and Bisu's going for mass scouts. He can afford to do so. Fleet beacon there, not for carriers, probably to upgrade the scout upgrades, because scouts are really good once they've got the speed upgrade. But I don't think whatever happens now, I don't think Much can really come back, because he's losing his main base. Yeah, once Bisu gets like 8 or 9 scouts out, he can just charge in and destroy all the carriers. And he's basically just going to be able to humiliate Much here and take a very important first game. Basically, what happens is there's 4 people in each group, and you take you play each other. So each player will play 3 games, and it's basically like the one with 2 players with the most wins go through. Much is doing good carrier harassment here. Back to the game, we have the carriers doing a lot of harassment here. They've taken down a couple of Bisu's expansions and done some damage to his main, but there's not a lot. And there goes another Nexus as well. The scouts are on their way. They don't have the speed upgrade yet. It does take a while to develop it, but I don't know quite why Bisu sent the scouts the other way. Maybe he's gonna come in and attack them later. Much taken out the pylons of those stargates. Notice that they've gone kind of a tealy colour, which means that they're unpowered. So, in fact, Bisu is pretty much out of minerals here because Much has destroyed all his Nexuses, whatever the plural of Nexus is, I don't know. If someone wants to correct me on that, I'll accept it happily. Oh, and Much has stationed a pylon. He's going for some sort of elimination race. This is considered bad manner play normally to do such a thing, but excuse me. Much has actually hidden the pylon up in the 1 o'clock position, and he's going to hope that he can hold off long enough. The Bisu won't find that. But in the meantime, he uses his carriers to go around and destroy every single building that Bisu has. However, Bisu, I don't think is going to have a problem finding this with some observers. Let's see, we've got Bisu's first person view here. I don't think he knows about the pylon. He's got an awful lot of buildings. Oh, the cybernetics core was destroyed. So Bisu went to produce some dragoons and couldn't because the cybernetics core went down. So he had to put that back. Anyway, he's lost all his stargates, so there'll be no more scouts, but he's got quite a few scouts out. He's got about 6 or 7, I think, and they're just taking on the Corsair. This is Much's first person view now. Much destroying those stargates off in the 7 o'clock position. He's probably going to go back over to the right hand side of the map and then finish off the rest of Bisu's buildings. I'm not too sure quite what Bisu plans to do about this. Obviously, he's got to look for the remaining building. He knows that Much must have like 1 building somewhere else because he hasn't been eliminated. Yeah, he should probably just fly scouts around the map, to be honest. Don't worry about engaging the carriers too much. I'm surprised that Bisu isn't actually just charging in there with all his dragoons and scouts and trying to target fire the carriers. In the meantime, he could use observers if he can. If he's still got his robotics facility, he could still use some observers to go in and look for the remaining buildings. I mean, this map is fairly small. I think it must be what 96 by 64 or 128 by 96. So it's not that big a map, and I don't think that Bisu will have any problems finding the remaining buildings. That little pylon hidden up in the 1 o'clock position. In the meantime, though, Bisu is just preferring to try and take the carriers down because he knows that without that Much will have to GG. It's fair enough. I mean, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that there's no way Much can win. Bisu has also managed to set up this expansion here. Look at the 12 o'clock position. So I mean, there's no way Much is winning this now. So Bisu might have to be careful. He's losing dragoons left and right here, and if oh, he's taking out all the interceptors. Oh yeah, he's taking out all the interceptors now, so I don't think there's any problem now. And if yeah, if he has to be careful not to run out of resources if Much was to snipe off that Nexus. But I think otherwise he'll be fine. Now, Much needs to be careful here. He's leading the carriers straight towards the pylon. Look at Much's supply count: 7 carriers, 42 out of 8 his supplies. He has no probes left. All he has is a pylon and a bunch of carriers. And he's also out of minerals. He can't replace the interceptors. Oh, and that's GG. So Bisu has taken this game. It yet remains to be seen how he'll fare against July. And against Flash. I'm not quite too sure he'll be able to beat either of those players. But he has managed to take down Much here, after Much is all in 1 base carrier build. And yeah, I know that map is rather suited to like crazy builds, but I don't think that 1 base carriers was a very sensible plan. Bisu gets to be escorted off by the pretty smiling booth girl. Not much of a ceremony though, unfortunately. So anyway, I do hope that we'll be able to see some of the other games from the first round of the OSL, particularly Group A, because it seems the most interesting. But for now, this is Almighty Hydra signing off. Bye bye.